Hey everybody! Welcome to 30 Days of Lives, day 21, here on Artsy Bits and Pieces. I'm Sam, and we have a very fun project for tonight. I am going to be making a swag out of 2 Dollar Tree Christmas trees. If you have seen the Dollar Tree Christmas trees, you're probably thinking, what can I do with those to make them a little more interesting, a little fuller, a little whatever? Well, there's lots of stuff you can do. I'm going to try and share this. That's not letting me. When you come on in, be sure to say hey. Happy to have y'all here on this fantastic Saturday night. Typically I've been going live Saturdays during the day because sometimes I go off and do things in the afternoon, evening, what have you. But today I was home all day, so I knew that I would be crafting tonight. I actually got up at 5 o'clock this morning for no good reason. Because I went to bed by 10 o'clock last night. So when that happens, you know, my body's not like, you can only sleep for so long, girl. Get on up. So I was up at 5, which is, I'm pretty sure, the same time one of my kids went to bed. Teenagers. So that's all right. That's all right. I worked a few hours and I spent my whole day watching video live streams from White Bayou Wreaths and Supply, because they had an online event today where you had to buy tickets a couple months ago. Then they sent you all these amazing supplies for 3 fabulous Christmas projects. And then they made them all today via live stream. And you could ask questions as they were going through them. And they were giving all sorts of awesome tips and tricks and whatnot. And even one of the tips that I got when Trent was making his mesh wreath is a total game changer for me. I've been making mesh wreaths for a couple of months now, and it's a total game changer for me. I'll share it with you when I do my mesh wreath, which is going to be on my last day of 30 Days of Lives, which is day 28 next Saturday. I'll be going live that morning, and I'll also be not here. I won't be home. I'm going to be at a special, different location. What location, you may be wondering? Well, you'll just have to tune in and see. So next Saturday, I'm going to be on at 10 o'clock in the morning, Central. I live in Eastern Standard Time. I live in the UP. But Sharon and Jen both live back home in Boston, Wisconsin, in Central time zone. So we usually refer to times in their time. So anyway, let me show you what we're going to work with today. So like I said, using a couple of these Dollar Tree Christmas trees. They actually had green and white and iridescent white this year, but I'm going to be using 2 of these green ones. I also have pine ties, which are basically, they're kind of like pipe cleaners, but they look like pine branches. Now these ones, you can find these at Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree. Pretty sure based on the tag, I got these at Dollar General. Pretty sure. They all look a little different depending on where you get them. You might even be able to find them at Walmart. I don't know. But they all kind of do the same purpose. So I'm going to use some of those just to make my swag look a little fuller. I've also got some picks. So this was one big pick, and I already cut it down to separate it out. It's got red, black, and white plaid stems on it. And what this is it's basically, can you see that? It's a burlap ribbon that's wound around a wire, like a floral wire. And then, I don't know what they did to stiffen it up. I'm thinking I'm going to try and do this myself with just like some Mod Podge and see if I can make these myself with some ribbon. Because I got a crap ton of cute ribbon, and I think it'd be interesting to try and do this with some of them. So when you come on in, be sure to say hey. I can see there's a couple people watching, but I don't know who you are until you tell me hey. And then I got this other pick that was also one big pick, and I already cut it down into 3 individual pieces. This one is just a red and white, like a picnic table type check, picnic tablecloth type check. I think it's really cute. So both of these picks came from, I got these online at a site called craftoutlet.com. Hey, Carla. Craftoutlet.com, which has a lot of amazing craft supplies. Like for me, I typically go there for mesh, ribbons, signs, picks, obviously. They have just a lot of amazing stuff. I also have these tiny little candy picks that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. They're like 99 cents each, but you know me, I'm waiting until they're 50% off, so I got these babies for 50 cents each. Are they cute? We got like 6 little individual candies on there. I'm not cutting them apart because they're already super tiny. But you could cut them apart if you wanted to, because as you can see, each candy is on its own wire. So you can bend them all and move them around and shape it however you want. Or you can cut it apart. Oh, the last thing, some might say the most important, are these 2 ribbons, because we're going to make a big old bow. Down where I get stuff from, because I get them from too many places. But I believe both of these came from watermansloft.com. Scott Waterman on Facebook, but his Facebook page is called Design with Scott. And he does a lot of amazing stuff, and he's got his own store where he sells all kinds of craft stuff too. So we're gonna make a bow from these ribbons. So I want to show you, I already got part of my wreath, or my swag, started because I knew today was going to be a long day and I wasn't possibly going to be all that wide awake when it came time for me to do this. So I started putting it together the other day, but I just want to show you what I started with. So when you get these trees, just like any tree, fake tree in a box, it's all scrunched up and it's got the pieces with it. So like these are the pieces, you put them in the base to make it stand up. Well, we don't need these pieces. And we don't need the bottom either. So this bottom part just screws right off. I'm leaving it on this one because I already took it off the ones that I'm using. And then this baby just fluffs right out. Okay. So I already did all that to the ones that I'm using. Just wanted to show you guys this one as an example. So put that baby back in there. So here is what I'm starting with. So I took 2 of the trees, okay? They are, when I fluffed them all up so they're flat on one side and then they're all up on the other side, because you can either do this as a tabletop, like a centerpiece down the middle of your table, or flat on the wall, okay? So it's flat on one side and then it's fluffed on the other side. And what I did, let me show you up close here. I just tied them together with some zip ties, and then I also put some hot glue in between. You can see that. Hey sis. So I zip tied them first, and then to really make sure for my peace of mind that they were secure, I put some hot glue in there too, in between the 2. Maybe you can see it better on this side. You can see where my hot glue is in between them there. So that's how I got them together. So all in all, this makes, let's see, should have brought my yardstick. What is this? Like, that's a foot, that's a foot. And about 32 inches. It's a little more than 2 feet long. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good size swag. That's for sure. I can't even get it all on screen. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put my picks in first. I'm going to start with these guys. Put 1 on each side, and then the same thing with these guys. Then I'm going to add my candy picks. So where my pine ties come into place, hold on, this is loud. I dislike it greatly when people crinkle things on camera, like on the microphone, or they use other loud things because I have a hard time with white noise. There we go. So I just pulled a couple out. Like, they look just like the branches. Like, you can't even tell that's not part of my swag. It looks just like the branches on here. So what I'm going to do is use them to secure the picks in amongst the branches. Could use zip ties. I could glue. I'm probably going to glue actually some of the little ones a little bit, just because they are so little. Sorry, more crinkly. Okay. Just going to pull a bunch out. Whatever I don't need, we'll put back in. Yeah, so I got my glue gun going in case I glue some of them in as well. But my plan is to primarily secure them with the pine ties. So this is the center here. Oh, you're wondering what this big center is open for? That's where my bow's going to go. So I'm going to lay my picks, I'm going to lay them in right in top like this with the stem end down here. Keep hitting my water bottle. Take a big drink before I move it too far out of the way. So I'm going to extend this pretty much as far as the swag goes. Then I'm going to move these out a little bit so I've got room for my other picks and whatnot, so you can get lots of this pretty plaid color in here. Oops. All right, what do you think? So far, so good? So I'm just going to leave that lay there. And like I showed earlier, these are all, it's just a burlap, a patterned burlap wound around a wire, like a floral wire. And then, I don't know if they, to me, it's like they just Mod Podged it and they wrapped it around something so it stayed all stiff. But you can stretch it out or you can push it down in. You can make it a little wider, a little skinnier, whatever you want. They're very much movable, bendable, shapeable. So you can use them in lots of different ways. I'm going to stick this one down in here. I'm actually going to pull this one out a little bit more. Move this guy. I kind of want to maneuver him around the pine ties just a little bit more. So he sticks up a little bit, but not like crazy sticks up. There we go. You see I got those two guys in there for right now. I am going to not secure it yet because these guys, when I cut these little red and white ones apart, their stems got really short. There's nothing I could do about that. It was a much smaller pick. So I'm going to put this guy sort of right here in the middle. I'm going to put him a little bit on the inside of my first pick. I put him a little bit on the inside of this first loop just to kind of hide it a little bit. So I actually think, yeah, this is where my glue is going to come in handy. The finger protectors also going to come in handy. Sorry, sis, I got all the finger protectors. Blame it on Jen. She gave them all to me. And blame me because I accepted them all. I said, "Show, I'll take all those finger protectors. Need all the protection I can get." Delicate. Alright. That baby's in there. What I'm just doing is gluing the first pick, the second pick to the first one. So I'm not really gluing them into the swag at this point. I'm just gluing them together. So they're kind of anchored together a little bit. There we go. Fantastic. All right. Okay. And we'll get one on this side. Something else about picks. If you're buying picks for a project, never buy just one. When I first started buying stuff, I was like, oh, that was really cute. I'll get one. When it comes to picks, you want to get them in multiples only because, like, So I cut this one pick apart to give me 3 pieces like this. But now my swag has 2 sides. So if I were to put 2 on one side and 1 on the other, even if I counterbalance that with putting 2 of these on the one side, it would be really uneven, and that's just not something I can deal with. It has nothing to do with my whole, you know, hey Jen, you're late, that's okay, so was Sharon. Luckily Carla came in to keep me company. So yeah, it has nothing to do with my whole odd number aversion. It just has to do with, that would be really, really uneven. So when you buy picks, always get them at least 2. When you design, odd numbers are best, only because even numbers tend to look too matchy, mirror image type. It just doesn't, unnatural, I guess is the word I want to use there. This looks a little unnatural to me. And not just to me, that's what a lot of designers say, and I agree with them. So I'm just gluing this first pick to the second one, or the second one rather, to the first one, I suppose. Just to give it a little more stability, because like I said, these red and white picks ended up with really short stems when I cut them apart, because it was, overall it was a shorter pick anyway. So, there you go, baby. Okay. No, it wasn't blowing on my finger, it was blowing on the glue on my finger protector, so that when I peeled it off, it didn't burn me. After all, they don't call it freezer glue, right? Exactly. So, I'll leave that guy handy just in case. So, I'm this far, got the 2 picks in, but they're kind of lined up, so I just want to maneuver them a little bit, so they're not necessarily like right on top of each other. Move that guy just a little bit. There we go. This one can come down here a little bit. Felt like somebody bit me, but nobody did. Move this guy up here a little bit. Move him back around there. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's a little better. They're not like totally right on top of each other. Now I'm going to add my little tiny candy picks. So cute. Got these babies at the Hoblobs. And they were only 50 cents because they're 99 cents. But I got them 50% off because I'm smart like that. Making them just 50 cents. So I'm going to use one of my pine ties now. I'm going to go up underneath. Poke it all the way through on either side of the trunk here. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to wrap it around. Just knock my finger protector on the floor. I'm going to wrap it around just like a pipe cleaner. Like if I was using a pipe cleaner in here. And then perfect. Awesome. I've got my stem in there nice and good. Actually, it's not. It's not tight enough. Try that again. You know what it is? My tie is just a little... There we go. Now it's in there good. Alright. I'm going to move my tie kind of up out of the way so it just looks like all the other branches. There we go. Nice. Alright. Throw another guy in here. I'll put this guy in a lot lower. Even them up a bit. Don't forget, I'm going to put a big old bow right here to cover up all of that good stuff, alright? So this guy, I'm going to secure him with a pine tie as well. I'm just going to bend my pine tie in half, stick it up on either side of the trunk. There we go. We get it nice and tight on my pick stem and just wrap it around like I would if it was a pipe cleaner and I was, or a tinsel tie and I was securing something to my wreath. So you get this line out of the way. Make sure. What do you think? You can see all the plaid. You can see the candies. I think it's cute. Cute, cute. I was struggling to come up with a theme for this swag yesterday because, like I said, I have white trees and green trees, and I found the iridescent trees. So, hey Deb. So I kind of went back and forth thinking about different things. I'm like, ooh, I have these super pretty picks in this color, but I didn't have any ribbon to match that color, which is really odd because I got a crap ton of ribbon, y'all. I got a lot of ribbon. So really surprised me to find out that I did not have ribbon in that particular color. So I thought, okay, well, how about this? I'm like, I got this super pretty ribbon in this color. I'm like, I don't have any picks in that color. So this is what happens when you buy craft supplies. You don't really have a specific plan in mind. Sometimes you end up with a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily go together. And I got a lot of buffalo plaid everything. I got a lot of regular plaid everything. I got a lot of red and white. But just some of the other different color schemes and whatnot, I'm finding I don't have a ton of. So it took me a while to figure out the plan for this guy. Because I didn't want to go buffalo plaid only because I do a lot of buffalo plaid. Alright, so this last pick, he's going to go right in about here. Yeah, like right there. Right in the center there. There's kind of a gap behind that, which you can't see now because that's where I'm putting the candy. Oh, and all of these candies, I said earlier, they're all individually wired. So I can move these however I want. I could even cut this apart if I wanted to and use them all individually for something. But I'm not doing that in this case. So I'm sticking them babies in there. Getting me another pine tie. I had to stop for a second. I thought I said pie tine. And I didn't. I'm tired, y'all. It's been a long day. But I'm good and I'm here. Alright. Right in there. It's going to come up on either side of my, there we go, trunk here of my tree that I'm making into a swag. Got that in there. Tie that baby super tight. Yeah, I gritted my teeth a little bit there. That's alright. The girl's got to do, you know what I'm saying? Ha! There we go. Alright, and that's what the other side looks like. Okay, so full on right now, we got our 2 pine trees making our swag. We've got buffalo plaid and regular plaid picks. We got the red and white picks and the peppermint candies. And I'm really loving it so far. So I'm going to turn off my glue gun. And by turn off, I mean unplug, because I don't need it anymore. I'll move its cord out of the way so I can put my swag down here. That way I don't accidentally grab it when I'm doing any of the rest of this. Those pine ties shed a little bit. Ooh, here we go. Come here, you. Bow making time, babies. Bow making time. For those of you who came in late, y'all know who you are. We are using these ribbons. Pretty sure I got both of them at watermansloft.com. The Facebook page is Design with Scott. Y'all should check him out. He makes amazing stuff. And he's got a really awesome bow making tutorial where he shot it like over his shoulder like this. So it's basically from your perspective, from my perspective, sitting here watching him make a bow. And it's an awesome tutorial. So what I'm going to do first, this is not double-sided ribbon, it's just one side. So I'm going to have to flip it every time I use it. Jen loves these ribbons. We were talking the other day, and I had moved my, like, video chatting the other day, and she spotted these ribbons somehow behind me in, like, the 2 seconds that I moved out of the screen. And she's like, are those 50-yard ribbons? And I'm like, yes. Because they are. Well, this baby is 50 yards worth of ribbon. And this is super, super cute, awesome ribbon. And it's wired, and it's fantastic. And you can see how wide this thing is. It's 50 yards. This one is 100 feet, so it's like 33 1/3 yards. They're both super pretty. I love this. They call it drift. This edging on here, so it looks like snow. So pretty. So, so pretty. Okay, so I'm not making big old tails for this bow, but I am going to still dovetail the ends. And what dovetailing means is you make a little V in the end of your ribbon, just to make it pretty instead of that whole, like, slice. So, let's see. I was trying to think, like, typically a bow starts with, like, 6-inch loops, but that might end up a little big for my space, but only because, yeah, that's too big. So I'm going to start with, say, a 4.5-inch loop with a 5-inch tail. So you drop your ribbon down in here. If you haven't seen the Easy Bow Maker before, it's got markings on here for inches, and it goes both ways from the center pegs, because this is going to be the center of your bow. And this is the dowel, it's a parking spot for your ribbon, so your ribbon doesn't go anywhere. And a lot of times it makes this really awful nails on a chalkboard sound, but it doesn't with these ribbons because they have a plastic piece in the center of the ribbon. You drop your ribbon down in there, and I'm going to put this at 5 inches. I'm going to twist it. I'm going to make a 5-inch or a 4.5-inch loop. Okay, that's about 4.5. Take this back in here, twist it. I'm going to make sure my loop here is 4.5 inches, and sure enough it is. Okay, so I'm going to do this loop. I'm going to put 4 loops, and they're each going to be 4.5 inches of this here ribbon. And this ribbon is 2.5 inches wide. My other ribbon is 1.5 inches wide. So if your ribbons are different widths, you want to make sure your widest ribbons are on the bottom. Give that baby a twist. Super proud of Jen. She made her first bow earlier today. I told her, if you're going to use a bow maker, go to Scott's Facebook page, watch the video. I don't know if she did or not, but she made a really nice bow. Not just like a really nice bow for her first time out. She made a really nice bow. Hey, Marilyn. I'm very proud of her. Jen made Sharon a bow maker after seeing some of our favorite crafters use them and whatnot. Sharon wanted to make bows, so Jen's like, I can make you that. And sure enough, she did. So I've got 4 loops on each side, and then a tail on each side. And be careful and take this big old thing of ribbon off here. Y'all, I don't know how I'm ever going to use all this ribbon, but you know what? When you get a roll of ribbon this big, like I said, this is 100 feet. This would be great for, like, making a treetop bow and having it, sorry, dropped my stick pin and I don't want to do that. It'd be great for a tree topper bow and having it, like, hang down your tree or winding it around your tree or whatever, because number 1, it's super long, and number 2, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful ribbon. All right, so we're done with that baby. Then I just stick a stick pin in it when I'm done, so that I don't have to worry about it constantly unraveling. Some of my other ribbons I just can put a rubber band around, but these guys are a little big for that. I'm starting my second ribbon. I'm going to dovetail the end, and I dovetailed the last end, or the second end of my first ribbon too. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. So this one, the loops are going to be just a little bit. Jen is so handy to have around. Y'all have no idea. So if you're a crafter, the most important tool you can have is fellow crafter friends. Not gonna lie. You can get ideas from each other, even if y'all do totally different things. Okay, so Jen does woodworking, she does acrylic pouring. I do mesh stuff. Sharon does, or specializes, let's just say. So Jen specializes in her woodwork and her acrylic pouring. I specialize in mesh wreaths. Sharon specializes in things like this here, where there's sort of the DIY multimedia type projects where you take a bunch of different things and you find creative, beautiful, interesting ways to put them together into, an interesting project. So we all three specialize in different things. But so when Jen wanted to know about buying mesh or buying ribbons and making a bow, she came to talk to me. If I want to know where Sharon finds things that she uses, obviously I ask her. Jen built us these, well, she didn't build this, but she made us our glue gun stands. This is like $3 from the Dollar Tree. It's a trivet and a couple of candle holders. This one holds my glue sticks. Can you see that? Holds my glue sticks. And then my glue gun sits on here with the hot part sitting in there. She made us those. She made us our, let's see if we can show you this. Check out our caddies here. You see this big, beautiful wooden caddy filled with all sorts of stuff that we use for our crafts. Yeah, Jen made us those too. Oh, sorry. She made us those too. She made us our ribbon tail makers. And so not only that, but it's also good for camaraderie's sake. Because right now, let me tell you, y'all, we could all use a little more camaraderie. I'm just saying. Jen finds a crafter that she likes. She's like, y'all, check out this crafter. Sharon finds one. She's like, you guys, you gotta watch this girl. Or you gotta watch this guy. And that's how we all find different crafters and stuff. We got a chat going. I named us the Crafty Witches. We like to do different crafts, but we like to do them together at the same time. We have video chatted, just sitting around crafting. What I'm doing with this one, with this ribbon, is I'm making these loops just about like a ½ inch, like a pinky's width shorter than my first one. So my first ones were like 4.5. These are like 4. I'm going to do 4 loops again. I'm not twisting this one because it is two-sided. Some of the crafters, or one of the crafters that I watch, he says just because it's such a habit to have to twist his ribbon every time to make sure the pretty side is up, he just always twists his ribbon all the time. I'm like, that seems like extra to me, so I don't. But, maybe there's a method to his madness that I haven't found yet. So maybe one day I will. But for right now, I don't. You definitely want to try to get your loops the same size, as close to the exact same size as possible. Especially the fewer loops you have, if they are wonky in their sizes, it's really going to show up in your bow. Alright, that's my last loop. I'm going to dovetail that end. Get off there. I need new scissors. Alright, take this off of here. So I just found this next little bit of my ribbon is kind of a janky edge here. So we'll have to see what happens the next time I use this. I'll have to cut that off, but maybe I can still use it for like a messy bow or something. Because goodness knows, craft supplies can be expensive. And the last thing I want to do is have to throw something away and waste it. Just because it's not perfect. were amazing. And she's blushing. Arjen, wait, what? Arjen is awesomely fabulous. Ain't that the truth? Oh my goodness. Wait, what? Is he shocked and being a pain in the butt that I don't know how to make wreaths and bows? Well, dude, look at all the stuff you do know how to make. I don't know how to do woodwork. I don't know how to do acrylic pouring. Besides, didn't he tell you to stop making so many crafts? I'm just saying. You can't have your cake and eat it too, there is. Okay, so I'm going to tie this. I know what I can do with that janky ribbon. It had occurred to me, oh shoot, unplug my glue gun. I want to, I know that my bow is going to cover this space, but I still am going to actually cover it with some of my ribbon, just to be on the safe side, and just because it can, and just because I want to. So that janky part of the ribbon, that's just on the back side, so that's going to be perfect, and then I don't have to waste the ribbon. That makes me very happy. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. So I'm leaving my bow on the bow maker for right now, only because I'm not ready to finish it. So cut a piece off of here. That's probably more than I need, but that's okay. Oh, yeah. So finger protector. Oh, it's on the floor. Oh, there it is. Y'all. It's under the bench. That's why I got extras. Ain't nobody wants to see me climb under this bench. I'm just saying. That's not the show that y'all are paying for. Okay. So throw a little glue on here to start. Should still be able to give me some. No, it's not going to give me some glue at all. Talk amongst yourselves. Please hold. We don't have to hold. While I wait for that to warm up and melt my glue, I'm going to, I have really fat fingers for those finger protectors. It's kind of a problem. I'll go back to this. I'm going to take my bow off of here at least. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use two zip ties. I'm going to use one to secure my bow to itself, and then I'm going to use the other to secure the bow to my swag. So I'm going to take this here zip tie and put it underneath, basically underneath my bow. That's the one that I'm going to use to secure it to my wreath. I'm going to take this here zip tie, put it around like this. I'm just going to kind of get it started going here. So that I can, so that my bow doesn't fall apart. So I don't want to go through all that. Just have my bow fall apart, you know what I'm saying? Make sure my other zip tie is still in the bottom. These are really stiff ribbons too. That's why I'm not holding them quite as strongly as I would otherwise, because I know they're not going to go anywhere. They're really stiff, these guys are. If I was working with like satin or something, that would be different. Okay, so there's that zip tie on the bottom that I'm going to use. He's inside this zip tie, but underneath all my ribbon at the bottom of my bow. So that's what I'm going to use to attach it to my swag. And then there's this zip tie that's holding my bow together. Make that baby nice and tight so that my bow doesn't go anywhere. And cut off the end. There we go. Didn't make that nice satisfying pop. My bow maker back over here. Out of the way. Set that aside now. Let's see. My glue's warmed up enough now, so I can start doing this. That is. That works. Okay. All right. Take this ribbon. So my finger protector's for. I just threw a little glue on there on the back side to start my ribbon. Just going to wrap it around here like such. It's going to hold or hide all my zip ties and whatnot. Ooh, I didn't measure that. But I got that out pretty darn perfect. I'll spread it out a little bit and that'll make it even better. Anybody else have that problem? When you say a certain word, it makes you think of a song. Every time I say the word perfect, think of the Mary Poppins song, Practically Perfect. There we go. That works. Okay, let's throw some glue on there. To end my ribbon. That's what my finger protector's for. Yeah, baby. See, I can feel that warmth coming through. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay. Take that baby off. Let's go back to my bow. Alright, so I got my bow facing away from me. Let's just say, sort of vertically as opposed to horizontally in front of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, it's still flat, and I've got one tail and two bows of each pattern. So I'm going to, yeah, submarine, yellow submarine. This never happened to me before, but it probably will now. Yellow submarine, that's fantastic. And I'll put this tail directly out to my right, your left. The other tail for that same ribbon, I'm going to put opposite. So he's going to go out that way. Can you all see? Okay. So my tails are going to go opposite. Then I'm going to take the two bows and kind of fill them in. Like I said, these are stiff ribbons, so they're going to hold up pretty darn good. The lighter weight, the lower quality your ribbons are, the harder it's going to be to work with them really well. Just saying. All right. Same thing now. Oh, so now I'm doing my second ribbon. I don't want all of my tails to go the same way, so I'm going to do this tail on top of that loop and do these two loops. One on that loop, one on that tail. Then this tail, I'm going to take the opposite way. And I'll hold this up so y'all can see it in just a second. You know, it's only 45 out there. I'm pretty sure that car is going too fast. I don't know if y'all could hear that or not. That kind of drives me nuts. Okay. Look at that. Kind of looks like a poinsettia. And we're done. Just kidding. Okay. So you can see where my tails are for the bottom one and the tails for the top ribbon. They're not going in the same spots. Okay. Which I suppose you could if you really wanted to. I don't want to. So now the fun part of fluffing our loops. So you just separate them out, stick both hands in there, stick your fingers in there, and you make it into a nice loop. Okay? And you do that with all of them. Start at the bottom and work your way up. Okay? So I'm doing all of my 2.5 inch ribbon first. Fluff that baby up there. So pretty. Love, love, love these ribbons. Okay? And then next, there we go, is my 1.5 inch ribbon. And again, just sticking my fingers in here on both sides. Actually with a 1.5 inch ribbon, probably just do it from the one side. Spread your fingers apart. Loop that baby up. Puff up that loop. So pretty. There we go. Is that guy? We got one left. And there he is. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot a center loop. Need a center loop because it hides my zip tie. I forgot to make a center loop. I could throw a fake center loop in there. Or, please hold. I didn't go anywhere. I'm still here. I'm just gonna grab another one of, oh, there you are. Yeah, baby. I'm just gonna grab another one of these picks. So like I said, all these candies are individually wired, so you could cut them apart and do other things with them. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm going to drop it like it's hot. I don't know that song. That's just something Scott says all the time when he's crafting, because he sings a lot of pop songs. Those are beautiful ribbons. Thank you. I know Jen loves these ribbons because she was like, are those 50-yard ribbons? I also have a black and white buffalo check one that's also 50 yards. So just pop this candy right off of there. I'll plop it right down here in the middle of my bow to hide my zip tie and to sort of bring in the candy aspect of things. Glue gun's still on. Of course, this is plastic and styrofoam, these candies. So let's just not put too much glue on there. That might not end well for anybody. Mostly me. Put that baby on in there. Yeah. That was a good idea. Winging it, baby. Winging it just a little bit. I'm super tired, y'all. That's where some of this fun is coming from. I'm just saying. So threw that candy in there. That's perfect, right? I love it. I think that's great. Look at him. He's so cute. So cute. Love the red and black check. The buffalo plaid. The red, black, and white. Or are you talking about this one? The like, I don't even know how to describe this one. It's like a buffalo plaid, but then it's got a white crisscross design over it and the drift. Thanks, Carla. Thanks, Marilyn. I'm really happy with this little bow. Oops. Can't lose my zip tie. All right, so I still got my zip tie on there. We need to get this baby in place. Then we can be D-U-N done, y'all. All right, let's see. I want to finagle this a little bit. And obviously, I can attach it and then finagle it. So let's do that. Just securing, y'all, I'm just securing my zip tie here. All red and black. Word. I hear that, girl. My zip tie's not making that zip tie sound. I got it in here backwards. I was so careful. Y'all, how am I going to turn this zip tie around? Because it's tight. Not going to lie. Maybe if I can, let's try this. Scoot this over here. Got it. Flatten my loops just a little bit. That's okay, because like I said, it's really good ribbon. I'm going to be able to fix that, no problem. And I'm going to stop fixing it for now, because it's going to be easier to fix it once it's in place. I can fix it once it is affixed. Jen, did you see that? Trent and Michael are live. So I need to finish this baby up so we can go see what our boys are saying. White Bayou Reefs and Supply, y'all. You gotta check them out. They're the guys who did the Christmas event that Jen and I were a part of today. They made a grapevine wreath with a cardinal, so beautiful. They did a mesh wreath, buffalo check, and they did a garland. So amazing. Okay. He's in place. I'm going to move my zip tie to the side so that it's not sticking out the bottom. Luckily, this is a lightweight project because I am whipping this baby all over the place. Let me tell you what. Okay. That's there. I'm going to cut this off. A little bit of snap. Need to do just a little bit of fluffing fixing. Okay. I'll set it down. These to come out here. Those to go there. Come here, you beautiful ribbons. Yes. Yes. That's why, because you belong over there. When Scott does bows, he's like, you are in charge of the ribbon. Don't you let the ribbon tell you where it's going. You tell it where it's going to go. Super funny. Y'all, we're good. We done did this thing. Stop picking up the cords, would ya? Let me show you all this from like, so here it is, from end to end. Our little swag. We got the plaid and the check. We got the candy in there. There's our bow. I love this. Started from $2 Tree trees, y'all. So between the picks, there's only 2 big picks. The trees, this is definitely less than $10. Only used a little bit of ribbon. So yeah, I'm loving this. It's super cute. So if you're going to do this as a centerpiece, bam, you're good to go. Just lay it there on your table. If you want to hang it up on the wall like a swag, put it over a door or an archway or like under a picture or wherever, throw a couple of either pipe cleaners or pine ties on the back and make them into loops. And then you can hang them on, nails, screws, whatever, one on each side. Because you can't really... I would not recommend trying to hang this from the center. You know what I mean? Like on a regular wreath hanger, you wouldn't be able to anyway because the bow's there. So just a couple of a pine tie or a pipe cleaner or even zip ties, like a partially open zip tie on each side to hang it from. All right. So thank y'all for coming out. I really appreciate it and for saying hi. So today was day 21. Tomorrow, you're welcome, Carla. Thanks for coming in and saying hey and sticking it out with me. This ended up taking longer than I thought. Because I'm so tired. I was like, I'm going to get this done in 20 minutes. That didn't happen, and that's okay. But let's see. Tomorrow is Sunday. That's Jen's day. What you doing tomorrow, Jen? She's so much more organized with knowing what everybody's making and whatnot than I am. But Sunday is Jen's day, so she's making something tomorrow. Monday and Tuesday are Sharon. Wednesday's back to Jen. I'll be here on Thanksgiving. Jen, Santa. Oh, the Santa cam ornament. Kind of like the elf on the shelf sort of thing where, like somebody's always watching your kids to make sure they're good. Make sure they're being good. Bleh. Thank you. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you. I think it's pretty too. I really like it. It's cute. It was easy enough. It was cheap enough. That's how I like my crafts. Simple and cost effective, let me tell you. But so Jen's making the Santa cam ornament. So it's so stinking cute. Y'all, I've seen them all over Pinterest. And I know hers is going to be even better. Sharing his Monday and Tuesday. Oh yeah, like I said, so I'm on Thursday. I'm on Thanksgiving. I've been kind of racking my brains about what to do for Thanksgiving because I'm like, it's Thanksgiving. So I'm not making a Thanksgiving meal. So I had at one point thought maybe I'll do like a Thanksgiving recipe, like you throw all your leftovers together because I have a couple of those. But I can't do that because I'm not making a Thanksgiving meal. So I thought maybe do like some sort of a craft to keep the kids occupied, kind of a thing. But what I found instead, it is still a craft, and kids can do it too. But I'm calling it Fall into Winter, if that makes sense. Because typically, for a lot of people, once Thanksgiving is over, they're like all Christmas all the time. Like 5 minutes after the dishes are done or whatever. They're, all Christmas all the time. So I'm calling it Fall into Winter. Or you could think of it as Thanksgiving into Christmas, but that just doesn't have the same ring to it, you know what I'm saying? Fall into winter. I like that. So I'm taking some fall items and making a winter craft out of them. So I hope you guys will check me out next Thursday. But in the meantime, tomorrow night, come on back and watch Jen make her ornament and her Santa Cam ornament. And Sharon on Monday and Tuesday. And we still got lots of days of lives left to finish up our 30 days of lives. So thanks, y'all, for stopping in and for saying, hey, really appreciate it. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.